Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading on February the 15th, 2018. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so we'll start off with our Forex Factory news. So the big thing that happened this morning that the market was waiting for was the CPI numbers. The CPI numbers came in positive. So inflation came in positive, which is what the central banks will look at in terms of how everything is going, because that's one of the things that they would pay attention to. Another thing that central banks pay attention to, of course, is the state of the economy, which is retail sales. And the retail sales numbers came in negative. So we saw a big drop, and then we saw a huge push to the upside. So market kind of went both ways in terms of the move. So it was quite a volatile New York session here, like we saw both back and forth, and that was that. And the Australian dollar data just came in line with expectations, so nothing major there. And then we have coming up on Thursday, we have for Canada, ADP non-farm employment change. PPI numbers here for the US will be important. And then we have orange data. This data is also important, especially with the retail sales numbers coming in negative. This could have a big impact. So this is Empire State Manufacturing Index, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. All of those could move the markets. But in terms of the European session, in the London session, we don't have a whole lot. And then going into Asian session here, we have manufacturing index for New Zealand dollars, and we also have RBA Governor Lau speaking. So those are the items for tomorrow. So let's move on to the charts now. We'll start off with our euro here. So euro, we saw a big drop and then a huge push to the upside. And now as a result of that, we are looking quite bullish here, very bullish close to the day. So as a result, I'm looking for price to move up higher. 1.2539 would be the level to the upside. So now looking at it would be nice to see a pullback into the pivot point level here. So that's what I would look for, pullback like that, and then a further move to the upside. So the bias for euro is to the upside. That's quite a strong move. So I'm looking for price to move up higher. Pound here. Oh boy, these numbers keep appearing. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have a bullish candle close here on the daily as well. So that looks quite bullish. So I'm looking for British pound to move up higher as well. In this case, the target would be 1.4120 level here. So looking for it to move higher. And quite bullish close here. So same thing here. We have a pivot point right into here, which is also our support resistance area. So I'm looking for price to move back into the pivot and then do a push up higher. But right now it's just hanging around there, which means if there's a lot of strength in it, it could just keep on going higher. But overall, it is looking bullish, and I'm looking for price to move up higher. Aussie dollar, same thing, a huge move here. We saw it drop all the way and then it pushed up completely in the opposite direction. So even with the positive CPI numbers, so what happens with the positive CPI numbers is that price will, market is expecting Fed to actually do more interest rate hike and do it as soon as March. But with the retail sales numbers coming out, dollar just could not really do anything. So it just could not retain that strength. And we saw this huge double-sided move essentially both ways here. And that's not looking good. So now we're looking for price to move up higher in Aussie dollar as well. 79.50 would be the first target, and then it could go even higher into 79.80 level to the upside there. New Zealand dollar, same thing here, looking very, very strong, big close here, looking for price to move up higher into 74.40 area, which is all the way up to the top here. So it's very, very strong right now. And even in the Asian session here, price is, US dollar is just not able to really sustain anything. So we are seeing a weakness in the US dollar as this is moving up higher. Looks like we do have low volatility conditions in the Asian market today, just because it is the Chinese New Year and markets are closed. So that's why the moves can be quite exaggerated. So when we have low liquidity conditions, price will move further than we would expect it to. So that's that. Dollar CAD, same thing here. We saw a big drop, now looking quite bearish. Target is a 1.2380 level here to the downside, and it could move further down as well. The next level will be 1.2300. So those are our targets to the downside. Dollar CAD is looking bearish as well. And that's, yeah. So right now, it doesn't look like price is wanting to do a lot of pullbacks, but in terms of pullback level, either 1.2550 level or even this level here, which is our pivot point, which is 125.40 level would be a good pullback level. But looks like everything just wants to move right now because US dollar is looking quite weak as it is right now. So we could just get a move from there. But overall, the bias is to the downside for dollar CAD. Euro Swiss franc, we have seen we're seeing a bullish close here for the day. So looking for price to move up higher. So we saw that price basically rejected the bottom, now looking for price to move back into this level, which is 1.1636 level. So looking for price to push up higher into the top of this range here. So that's our, so bullish for Euro Swiss franc. And pound Swiss franc here, pound Swiss franc is at the top of the range. We have seen it sit in this range for the last 3 days, but we have to be careful with this pound Swiss franc. So normally with the range bound move, we're looking for price to drop, but it's a little bullish because we have seen the price basically reject 129.20-ish level a couple of times here. And so if it breaks above the 130.20 level, it could go to the next level. And the next level is 1.3130 level, which is the top of these pins here. So it is range bound at the moment. And it looked like it wanted to reject the range here because we have this evening star formation here. But I have to, I would suggest being careful with this one. My concern with this would be that price could just do one of these and then do that. So we do, for shorts to work out, we need to see one of these. So we need to see a rejection. But based on the range bound move, it would, I would look for it to drop. However, because we have seen bullish candle close multiple days in a row, price hasn't been able to break. So it could break to the upside, and that would be the concern. So that's, I would keep that in mind. Dollar Swiss franc here, that looks quite weak. Looking for price to drop further. 92.50 will be the first target to the downside. And then we have to zoom out quite a bit and look at the next level. So 0.9200 will be the next level to the downside. So 92.50 is the first target. 9200 will be the second target to the downside for dollar Swiss franc here. And dollar Swiss franc is looking weak. And then we have pound yen. Pound yen here. Pound yen, we had seen an interesting move. So overall, pound yen is weak. Yen right now is very strong. So that's why all the yen crosses are dropping. And with pound yen, we do have a big doji here, which could be a bit of a concern, but overall the move is to the downside. So with this one, looking at the 1 hour, I was looking, or I am looking for it to drop, because yen has been strong. But it is volatile right now. So I would be careful with this one. I do have a position open in this with a very small position, and I'm planning on scaling into this position. So basically, I'm already into the position, and I will see how price reacts at this 149.88-ish level, and then could take another position in. So basically, I'm building up a position in this because I'm looking for price to reject this level and drop. But because it is volatile and we have seen this big push to the upside, I would be careful with this. I'm not willing to put too much money into this at this point. But in terms of our daily close there, I'm not a big fan of the pin bar, but I am looking to see how the price will react. So overall, the bias is to the downside, but with caution here. So in this case, the target, we could see the price drop all the way into this 158 level, 158.00 level. So, but again, caution is warranted with the yen crosses. Euro yen here. So euro yen, we saw a big pin here as well, but my bias overall for the yen crosses is to the downside. So I do think that we could see a drop here, and the target here would be 13200. So again, this is another one that I've taken a very small position in, and I'm looking to see where price will, it will start to drop. So but the pin here is concerning because it could go higher, and so it could go into 133.80 level. So I would be careful with that one. I've initiated a small position, and I'm looking to scale into that position. So just be mindful of that. Aussie yen, again, all the yen crosses, we have seen this big pins in, but overall direction bias is still to the downside. So with this one, I'm looking for price to come back and test the low into 84.00 here. And then we'll have to see if it breaks down further from there, but it could just push up from there as well. So this is a bullish pin bar. But even with bullish pin bars, we do get a pullback. So I'm trying to take advantage of that pullback just because of the strength in yen. So I think we could see price move lower. Dollar yen, though, this one, I've taken a position, a very small position, this one as well. This one, I feel more strongly about it dropping just because US dollar is very weak. And as a result of that, dollar yen has a higher chance of dropping further. So this is where we are with this. And I'm looking for it to drop into this 105.30 area. And we could even go further depending on how badly US dollar gets beaten, 104.60-ish area. So, or even 104.30. So it depends on how badly US dollar gets beaten. But this is probably, of all the yen crosses, this is my favorite. And I've initiated a position in this as well. So I am bearish on dollar yen because there's really nothing else. Whereas the problem with euro yen and pound yen is that euro and pound are stronger. So pound dollar and euro dollar, when they get pushed up, they could drag pound yen and euro yen with it. But dollar yen, because the dollar is weak, we could see dollar yen drop even further. So of all the three of them or the four of them, dollar yen is my favorite for a short. But I am, like I said, I'm in all three of them with a very, very small position to see if I can kind of ride the wave. So we'll see how that goes. CAD yen here, this one, again, we are holding the, below this previous high. So overall biases to the downside. I am looking for price to come to the bottom again into 84.60-ish level and test this level once again. But we do have a bullish pin bar, which means so that it may not be a sustainable move, it could get pushed up higher. So I would keep an eye on that. But overall, my bias for all the yen crosses is essentially to the downside. But because it is volatile, so stops and such can get triggered, especially because Asian session right now, we have low liquidity because of the new year, because of the holiday. So keep that in mind. But I am looking for price to drop, or yen crosses to drop, and just looking for some spikes in there. All right, so that's all I have. Any questions or anything to add here? Okay, if not, we will call it a wrap. So that's it. So I will see you guys in the London session. I am going to stick with these trades and see how they play out. So we'll see how it goes, and I will see you guys in the London session. Have a good evening.